Recording.
Alright folks, this one's actually going to come with a advisory warning. This one may contain a lot of strong language, and if you feel like you're going to be offended by anything like that, I suggest you go find a different video to watch right away. But this one, it's not going to be as lighthearted as my previous videos from earlier today. This is going to be something negative, but it's still going to have some positive aspects to it. But I'm actually going to bring in someone very special. This is actually my best friend of 15 years. This is his first time at Otakon. Mind you, he himself is also an experienced con goer, but I figured his input, especially for people who are new to Otakon, is going to be valued. That way you know what to expect at later Otakons. Now mind you, again, there will be some positive points to this. But without any further gilding the... How did it go? Without any further gilding the lily and no more ado, I'm going to present to you my best friend, Nathan, also better known as Vincent. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. How's yourself, Chris?
It's always good to see you, man.
Really good to see you too, brother.
Alright, so... later on, I actually will be asking you some of my basic questions that I've been asking people all day. But first and foremost, we've already talked a good bit about this earlier. What is your overall opinion on how things were done today for day 0 alone?
Well, as you stated earlier, I'm no stranger to the lines of cons. I've been to SakuraCon in Seattle, Anime Oasis in Boise, Idaho. The lines, they're going to happen no matter what you do. Setup time is always going to be a hellish thing for these staff members. And I do understand and, sympathize with them. I really do. But in all honesty, you're going to have this many people. You've got so many fans of so many different animes, different fandoms, coming to this place of, holy worship. As someone would say, some even value, for fuck's sake, let's be honest, if it were a Doctor Who convention, they'd be bowing. I'm sure of it.
Oh, trust me, there will be bowing starting tomorrow for many different things,
But back to my point is that you've got so many people that come to these things, and, our tickets we got early. We caught that early train. We got it. We didn't have to worry so much. Not saying anything bad for those that didn't get it, but as an advisory for them, if you don't want to stand in line, people, get your tickets online. It's a lot easier, a lot less stress for you, and a lot less stress for everyone else.
Also, pay the extra to have it mailed directly to your house. It is godsend.
I understand that some people just enjoy waiting in line, and let's face it, they do. Some people just love going to that day 0 line waiting. There's nothing more I can say to that one. But for the staff, I do sympathize with them. I wouldn't want to be in their position. For those that are having to sit here and listen to these gaggle fuck of people non-stop jabbering all day. It can be pretty stressful, but you'd think, how many years has Otakon been coming to the Baltimore Convention Center?
Honestly, more years than I actually remember.
That's still more years to get their shit together, to have this down packed so that this problem never happens. I understand technical difficulties will occur. It is an inevitability when working with machinery. But for this many years, you would think that a lot of people would have not a novice understanding, but a more expert understanding of their systems, knowing that this is going to happen every year. I'm sorry that it is going to be the last one that the Baltimore Convention Center will be hosting. I hope everything goes right and they do come back, because let's face it, I don't want to go to DC for this.
I don't either, because DC itself, I love DC, I love going there to visit, but the traffic is a lot more worse than it is in Baltimore. Baltimore in general, even for people coming from DC, is still more easily accessible.
You got people coming from all points of the globe. I mean, I'm from Lewiston, Idaho. I'm on the West Coast. I came all the way over here for my first Otakon. Now, I've been tortured with this for 5 years, people. 5.
Yeah, I have a bad habit of finding really scantily clad girls, taking
it's
pictures
not just
of them
the scantily
and
clad
sending them to
women,
him.
brother. It's everything about the con that, draws me closer to wanting to be here. So I'm glad that I get to actually spend my first Otakon is the last one here in this convention center. Do I think that they need to come back? Fuck yes, I do.
Well, another thing about it is, just to prove your point, I mean, people don't come from just across the country. People come from all across the world. We actually have people that come from Japan to come to Otakon.
Well, I see, even then, you got all these people coming from every walks of life, having to sit in line for those that didn't pre-register. And I understand that not everybody can, finagle their jobs into letting them have this, glorious week off.
Oh, trust me, and one of the worst jobs about that, which you've recently had experience with, not necessarily on your part, but from someone close to you, Walmart. Walmart is fucking horrible about that.
They are, but it's not just Walmart. I mean, even I had issues working at Best Western, a hotel chain. I have my issues too. I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to come out here. I'm thankful that they hired somebody that, would willingly accepted the week of doing nothing but laundry. So I'm happy for him. I'm glad that I get to come out here. I'm glad that I get to enjoy this beautiful thing. I stopped going to cons because the money constraints on my end, at least, have kept me from going. SakuraCon, it's over $1,000 for the entire goddamn thing. That's hotel, that's, tidges, that's food, that's souvenirs. It does take a lot for, somebody to come out here and get to enjoy these things.
So let this be a forewarning. Unless you actually are, unless you're well off in terms of money, be forewarned. Going to conventions is an extremely expensive thing. Definitely worth the time and the money for the experience, mind you, but still, it is not for the lighthearted.
No, it's not. And, another thing that really, grinds me is, you see, and I'm sure you've seen this at your previous, Otakons, and I've seen this at SakuraCon even, and we're going to probably see it this year. Let's face it, with the way things are going these days, it's an inevitability. But you're going to see people, picketing, protesting, for people just having fun.
Well, that's part of the fun of the convention, believe it or not, because I've taken it upon myself to fuck with these people several times.
Yeah, and that's the joy for the con goers, because they're trying to do something that they enjoy.
Oh, I've got to tell you a real quick story about that. We had hardcore Christian picketers out in front of the Otakon Convention Center a few years back. I was cosplaying as Ming the Merciless from Flash Gordon, mind you. And these people are out there with their signs, with bullhorns, forcing their bullshit onto people. I, at one point, confronted one of the guys with the bullhorn, telling him how fucked up it is that he's forcing his religion onto other people. He tries to argue with me that he's not. I'm sorry, but standing outside where there are people who are forced in a line with a bullhorn, spouting off with your bullshit, that is forcing your beliefs onto people. Don't tell me they don't have to listen to it if they want to. You are forcing them to listen to it. Because bullhorns, especially yours, get so loud that even if you plug your ears, you can still hear it. So, this pissed me off to the point where I went inside. I found some people who were cosplaying and somewhat serious who are members of the cult of Cthulhu. Now, mind you, again, I am cosplaying as Ming the Merciless from Flash Gordon. I told these people what was going on. I said, hey, I'm going to go outside and fuck with these people. And they were more than happy to. So we go back out there. The guy is sitting there spouting off with his bullshit. I said, your god is false. He does not exist. Bow before Ming. And all of these members of the cult of Cthulhu started bowing down to me and worshiping me as Ming. And just a look of utter horror on this guy's face was priceless. I wish I would have had videos or even pictures of it beforehand. But, again, back to the matter at hand. I'm sorry for that one. I just had to tell that story.
No, you're all right. No, you wanted to give, people coming to, their first convention. Even, it doesn't matter if it's Sakura Con, Anime Oasis, Tomodachi Fest, or Otakon. You're wanting to give them an understanding of what it's like to come to these things, and not just the lively, upbeat, but the more serious aspect. The things that not a lot of people get to hear or don't understand, and that is, you're gonna find people that dislike it. Why? Because it doesn't follow in a religious belief, or they don't like it because they feel that it's infringing upon themselves. You know what? Do what you feel is what your heart tells you to do. Me, I'm gonna do what I want to do because that is what I want. If you want to sit there and picket and riot against us, fine, by all means. But you ain't going to ruin my fun. I'm just going to poke fun at you because that's what I want to do.
Exactly. Now that we've got that out of the way, I'm going to ask you my basic questions I've been asking everyone all day.
All right.
And by all means, still, be honest about this.
Don't worry, I will be.
Mind you, there are a few special events that we're saving for another time. So you know which one I'm talking about, though.
I do.
All right, starting off, let's see here. What was my first question? Can you tell us a little bit about any of the cosplays that you're choosing and why?
Well, I would tell you about some of the cosplays that I'm choosing, but I'm going to keep that to myself until day one of Otakon. I actually normally would say what I'm doing, but this time I actually do want to, I want to keep your viewers interested. I've been a pretty interesting character. I've been in the background of a few shots here and there.
Oh yeah, you were even kind enough to be the cameraman for a shot
I
or
was
two.
the cameraman for the shot. So, day one's tomorrow. You'll get everything you need to know from that point.
Okay. All right, next up then. What are you expecting of Otakon this year, being its last year in Baltimore and still even being your first Otakon?
Well, expectations are, pretty high for me. I still expect to see a lot of good, diversity in the convention. Yeah, you're going to see, I've already seen 3 or 4 Natsus from Fairy Tail. At day 0 already. We saw Ash Ketchum and Misty from Pokemon.
Which the viewers watching this video, you may recall from a previous video already.
So, I go to see, the time and effort that people take to make themselves stand out. Even if they're doing the exact same thing as somebody else, who the fuck cares? Enjoy it. Do it. Why? Because it's what you want. Don't be afraid to cosplay somebody else because somebody else you saw did it. Do it. Make it unique. Make it your own.
And you see, that is one of the major issues with this community, with cosplayers. There are so many people out there who are afraid to cosplay as something because of such reasons as, oh, I don't have the right kind of body for that, or
fuck that.
I'm not the right skin color. But it's exactly like he said. You know what? Fuck what everyone else thinks. The point of cosplaying is having fun, having a great time, and making your favorite character your own.
Skin color? You want to honestly go into the point of not having the right skin color? I cosplayed as Rude from Final Fantasy VII. He is South African. Do I look South African to you? No. No, I do not. I'm a white boy. A lily white boy. And I cosplayed as somebody who has a darker skin tone than me. And I did it with pride.
See, that is what we're looking for cosplayers. You know what? I'm going to interview people later on that don't even have, the best costumes out there because I admire all cosplayers. All right, if you don't mind, my next question though.
All right.
And this will be my last question. What is the one part of Otakon that you are actually looking forward to the most? I know that it's similar to the last question I asked, but
it's a bit similar, but it does have its differences. And what I'm looking forward to the most right now is I love to sit there and meet the cast and crew for some of the animes that I like to frequent. I was excited to see that Sunny Straight's going to be here for Q&A this year.
I know, right?
I met him at Anime Oasis in Boise, my first con, my very first convention, I got to see Sunny Strait.
All right.
I also got to see the Green Ranger in person at SakuraCon.
Mind you, Jason David Frank actually does frequent Otakon a lot. Most of the time, he doesn't let people know he's going to be there because he tries to avoid, the mobs of crowds of fans. Where there's rumors that he will be there for a panel to give his opinion on the new movie that is due to come out next year. But also, real quick, just for most people here should probably know who Sunny Strait is. Give us a couple of, but this is for those of you who don't. Give us a couple of characters that he's done.
Well, for instance, there's Apachai from Kenichi, the strongest pupil. I'm probably
the greatest disciple.
The greatest disciple. Thank you. So
And,
I knew I was getting it wrong, but
yeah.
thank you for the correction. But there's Apachai.
The
There's
Muay Thai master.
The Muay Thai master. There's Krillin from Dragon Ball Z. Yes, the Pwn counter is strong with Sunny Strait. There's Ragnarok from Soul Eater.
Oh, definitely. Also, one of my favorite ones in an older anime that a lot of people have forgotten about, Lupin the Third from Lupin the Third.
Lupin. How could we ever forget Lupin?
I know, right?
Some memories.
Well, my personal thing that I'm looking forward to the most from Otakon itself, the dealer's room. Come on, I mean, look at my gorgeous backdrop here. We have got all kinds of amazing swag. I mean, from various different places. And if you were to actually pan around my room and see all the other stuff that we have here, so much stuff from Otakon itself.
And that's the one thing that a lot of people do enjoy going is and they even some people even take it upon themselves to start buying stuff like this in bulk to sell it.
I know.
Or they start making their own things and they sell them. I love the dealer's room. I love the art dealer's room. It is the best way of expressing yourself in the most purest form.
Collecting.
Keep on trucking, people. Keep doing what you do. Keep pushing through it. Because it's what your heart tells you, and trust me, it's probably speaking the loudest.
Oh yeah. Well, anyways, I want to go ahead and thank you again so much, not just for letting me interview you, but for actually being here with me. Again, you've been my friend for 15 years, and this is an experience that I've always wanted to share with you.
And I'm happy to be here. I really am. If I were, I'm going to give some, points of advice for you while watching at home. I may seem jaded, I may seem pretty cruel when I say this. I do respect the people that put these things on. I really do. They work tirelessly day in and day out, making sure that everything is to their exact specifications for making this the most wonderful weekend anyone could ever have. So, my heart does go out to these people. I feel for you. I honestly couldn't do what you do, but I'll tell you this much. If you don't want to sit in the lines, get your tickets early and have them mailed. If you love doing the line thing, keep doing it. Just make sure to take it easy on those who, might be having a bad day. Try to liven them up. Try to cheer them up. Say something. Do anything. Or, for instance, look like this goofball.
And, well, this is the end of the last video for Day 0. And so far, the Scouter says for Otakon 2016. Do I have to say it, or would you like to say? Would you like to honor?
I do believe that it is over 9,000.
All right, thank you everyone, and have a great night. I hope you are looking forward to my videos that I'll be posting throughout the rest of the weekend, and looking for more from Nathan as well, because I'm pretty sure you would value his opinion on his first Otakon.